Hey, what is up everybody, Flying Cow here, and welcome to Building with Cowman. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to build this gigantic modern mansion. So let's just go ahead and do that on the way across the front, and then all the way around the side of this little patio area right here. And then what's left of this grass area is going to be filled in with, what is this called? Light gray concrete. Alright, and now that we've got that part done, let's go ahead and fill in these windows right here as well, which I forgot to do. And now we have got the official doorway and little corner of this house complete. So now let's continue on to this side right here, and I think I want to incorporate some brick into this build. So let's see what we can do here. I might just end up breaking all of this part out, but let's just see if we can do anything. So 5 blocks right there, 6, 7 blocks, and then we'll build it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blocks high, and then let's go ahead and do that on this other side here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 right there. And then we'll build it all the way across, and then on each side at the top and bottom, let's go ahead and do this with the slabs. So let's do that here on the bottom as well. And then on the inside, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to take our smooth quartz and then build a layer on the inside, just like so. Let's actually build it up an extra layer on each side right there. So that's what it's going to look like now. And now let's go ahead and fill all of this in with our black stained glass panes. And now that we've got that part down, let's add another little room right here, and then next to that we will add a garage. Actually, let's add the garage right here, and then a little room on the outside of that. So here's what we're going to do for the garage. We're going to take out our black terracotta again, build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like it is on this other side right here. And then we're going to build over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll build it all the way down right there, just like so. And now we're going to take out our smooth quartz again. We're just going to build a little layer around there. And then we will take our light gray concrete and build another layer on the inside of that. So this is what it's going to look like now so far. Let's go ahead and take our jungle slabs and build a layer. Actually, let's build it right here so that we can hang some lanterns off of it. Let's get out our lanterns, place down one on each side and one in the middle, actually, since there is a middle to this. And then right here what we're going to do is we're going to take our dead bubble coral blocks and we're going to place a layer all the way across and then one going in, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks. Let's build it over and then bring it all the way back down here. Now this part right here we can go ahead and fill in with our light gray concrete. Alright, and now that that part is complete, we can go ahead and build these interior walls right here. This is going to be the garage, so we need to get out our garage blocks, which are basically just a stone button and a pillar block. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4 off of that and then bring it down. Same thing on this other side here, 4 and then bring it down. Let's do that again, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then bring it down. And then over here again as well, 1, 2, 3, 4 and bring it all the way down. And then right here what we're going to do, let's just go ahead and build up 2 more layers on each side right there. And then on this end cap right here we will do this. So these are going to be our garages, so let's go ahead and also fill those in with our pillar blocks, which are going to be facing sideways. So just 3 on each side. Let's go ahead and extend it all the way down. So it'll look just like that. And then we will place down our buttons on each side. And let's actually go ahead and right here, we're going to break out this part right there and then break it out like that. So that's what it's going to look like. And now we're going to do this for each garage. So in the end, it is going to look like this, and now of course we need to add some lights and a ceiling. So for that, we're just going to build all the way around the ceiling with our redstone lamps, just like this. We're just going to build it all the way around, and then we will place down some redstone blocks all in the middle of that right there. And then some more redstone lamps in the middle like that. Let's get these corners here with redstone as well, just so that they light up. And then down here, if we go inside, we can see that the redstone is very ugly, so we're just going to cover it all up with these spruce trapdoors so that we don't have to look at it when we enter the garage area. Alright, so there we go. Now we have all that. Now the garage area itself is complete, but it looks a little bit dark in these corners, I think, so let's just add some lights right down in there. And we could also go ahead and, if we wanted to, just add some more on each side in the entrance, just like that. So now the garage area of the build is complete. It caves in a little bit, just like the doorway, so I think it looks cool. And now let's also add another room onto the end of this. And for this, I think we're going to have it extend out a little bit, and it is going to be jungle planks, just to add a little more of variety to this build. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that would be a good amount. Let's just double up that layer right here. And then on the other side, we will turn and place down 11 blocks and do the exact same thing. So let's double up that layer there as well. And now over here, we're going to build this up all the way till it meets the top of that brick layer right there. So I think that is level right there. Yeah. So there. So now it's level, and we're going to do that on the other side as well. So let's level that up. And then of course we're going to add 2 more layers at the top here to make it even with the bottom. Oh, that was off. Off by just 1 block there. Alright, so now it's lined up. Let's go ahead and double up those layers. Alright, there we go. So now that we have this part right here, what we're going to do is we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th block, so it's going to be a 4 tall window right there. We're just going to build another 2 layers. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to take out our smooth quartz stairs, which I actually don't even have out, so let's just take those out right there. Let's take out our smooth quartz stairs and place down an upside down layer of stairs all the way around right there. This is going to be a little balcony over this window on the 1st floor. Alright, now that we have that part down, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're just going to add another layer of quartz 1 block down from right here, and then we can go ahead and fill all of that in with our black stained glass panes. So let's go ahead and do that. Just fill it all the way in right there. And then we're going to add another layer of black stained glass panes right below that. And then we're going to take out our jungle slabs, which I accidentally just got rid of. So let's take those back out right there. And then add a layer all the way underneath that. And then we're going to add 1 more layer of our, black stained glass panes. But this one is going to be on the bottom. This is going to be a little balcony right here. And this is the balcony railing. So now that we've got that part down, we can then go down here and fill all of this giant corner window with black stained glass panes as well. Alright, so this is what the house is going to look like so far now, and you know, there's something that's missing from it so far. I think we need to add a little bit more life, so we're just going to take some oak leaves right here. We're just going to build all the way down from that layer right there, and then we're going to go up by 6 blocks, so I think that's 6 right there. Let's just test it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's 5 blocks. Let's actually just keep it like that. We're going to go up by 5 blocks and then do the exact same thing. So we'll just bring the leaves all the way down until they reach where the bricks are. And then we're going to come over here and do the exact same thing. We're just going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks right there. And then right here as well, this is above these jungle plank little columns right there. So let's build that up by 7 as well. I think that was 8 on accident. So now that we have that, we've added a little bit of life into the build. We're also going to add some water into the build later on to give it even more character and more life. But for now, we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get rid of our pillar blocks. And now we're going to use our smooth quartz again. So we're just going to build up 2 layers all the way along right here, except for at the end right there, which we're going to use our black terracotta again. We're just going to build that all the way up to right there, and then we can go down here again. We're going to build down 2 layers right here, just like we did on the first layer. Alright, and now that we've got that part down, what we're going to do next is we're going to go right here. Let's just add some more jungle planks right there. And then right here, we're going to add a little 1 by whatever this window is going to end up being. I think it's going to be like 8 maybe 7. 1 by 7 window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's 8, a 1 by 8 window right there. So that's what it's going to end up looking like now. And then we can go ahead and go up here and add another little layer of black terracotta right there. So that is what it's going to look like. My game's starting to get a little bit glitchy, so I'm going to end up having to turn off the shaders right here. So we're just going to build the rest of this build without any shaders on, but that's going to be fine because in the end it's going to look really cool. I think that shaders actually do add like a lot of cool things to Minecraft. It makes the game look a lot cooler and a lot more realistic. And especially with modern houses, since modern houses are already built you know, in this square style, and Minecraft is all squares, I think it makes the modern houses especially look more realistic. But we're just going to build the rest without them, which will be fine. So let's work on this side right here now. What we're going to do for this is we're going to take our black terracotta again, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we will go ahead and build it all the way across. Till it reaches the end right there, but we are not going to build it down quite yet. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Let's go ahead and just build up a layer of smooth quartz right there. Bring it all the way down, and then let's go ahead and go do the exact same thing on the other side here as well. So we've got 2 very tall windows right here, which we will both we're just going to fill both of those in right there very quickly. Let's not forget to add this layer here at the bottom for that window. Alright, now that we've got both of those windows down, what we're going to do next is we're going to come over here. We're just going to add a layer on the top and bottom right there. And then we're going to go a layer deeper just to add more and more layers to this house. It really gives it more character, especially since this house itself is just going to be a big ol' cube, because that's what I kind of had planned. Maybe we're going to change how it turns out, but since it's just going to be a big ol' cube and most of the walls are going to be flat anyways, we got to add more and more layers to the house. So now we've got that part there. Let's go ahead and actually take our bricks and just add a layer of brick at the top and bottom right there, just to give it a little bit more detail. And now that we have that part down, what we're going to do next is we're going to add another little balcony right here. And to do that, what we need to do is we need to add, let's actually add another layer right there of oak leaves, and then another layer behind that of smooth quartz, and then the black terracotta layer we can go ahead and now bring all the way down to the end right there where it lines up. And then let's go ahead and drag it all the way down to this point right here, and then we were going to have it stop. and we will build another layer of oak leaves, and then behind that, of course, build another layer of smooth quartz, and then we're going to bring that smooth quartz layer all the way down to connect at that corner right there. We can do that at the bottom as well so that it's nice and even. And this is going to be a very tall balcony, I think, so we might just end up leaving it like that. Let's add a layer of black stained glass panes right there as a little railing. And yeah, I think that we can leave it like that. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to add a ceiling to this part. So to do that, we're going to take our jungle planks. We're just going to build all the way around right there. And then we can go ahead and connect the corners right there as well. And now let's get out our redstone lamps and blocks. And we're just going to fill in the outside layer right there. And then add some redstone over all those lamps to light them up. My game's starting to glitch a little bit, I don't know why, maybe I'm building too fast. But then on the inside, we're going to fill that all in with jungle planks as well. So this is what it's going to end up looking like. Let's actually add a layer of black stained glass panes at the top here as well. I think that would look cooler. And we could also go ahead and just say freak it and add a layer of smooth quartz slabs right there as well. And I think that actually looks pretty good. I think that looks better than it did before. So now that we have this, let's actually change this window here since it looks super uneven. And let's change it to a 3 tall window. And if we're going to do that there, then we might as well just go ahead and do it on the other side as well. So we're going to need to add a layer of smooth quartz right there. And then we can fill in this window here. So let's go zoom out and see what the house looks like now. So now this is what the house looks like. So we're going to have to add a third layer up here, I think, to finish it off. And to do that, we're just going to make it mostly be smooth quartz because there's not as much smooth quartz here, and I wanted it to look a little more white than most other of my houses have been looking. So let's just add a layer from that block, and let's bring it all the way down. So we're just going to bring it all the way down here. And once it reaches the end right there, now what we're going to do is, you can see that there are 2 big gaps here. This one is smaller, so we're just going to go on this smaller one here first. Let's build 2 jungle planks right there. And then right here, I think we will have to build some more brick. And let's go down here and build 2 more jungle planks right there. And then another layer of terracotta. So it's going to end up looking like this. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to build a small layer right there of smooth quartz. And we're going to put in a window right there. And then right here, we can go ahead and just fill in that layer right there with smooth quartz as well. So that is what it's going to look like right there. And then let's go on this other side here and do something very similar, except on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks right there. So that should be 5 in between actually. So we're just going to have, on every 5th block, we're just going to place a jungle slab. We're going to see how it turns out. We're going to see if the pattern will line up. And it will. So we're just going to keep it like that. And let's build that up as well. Right there. And then over here, we're just going to add 2 layers of smooth quartz all the way down to the end. Let's add that second layer there as well. And I'm thinking of adding some windows in here because I think it would look good. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a window in the middle on each of these little sections that we've got right there. We of course need to add a little top to each of those windows to place the glass. Now we can fill all of those windows in with our black stained glass panes. Okay, and now that we've got that part, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take our oak leaves again, and we're just going to add a layer all the way around all of that. So let's just go ahead and bring it all the way down to the end right here. And then once we reach the end right here, we're just going to go inwards right there. And let's go ahead and go all the way down to this other end right here and do the exact same thing. Except this side, it's going to extend out by one layer over the smooth quartz right there. So let's just go ahead and bring that smooth quartz all the way down to the end as well. So it's going to look like that on that end. And then over here, we need to actually fill in this little tiny section right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So for this section, we're going to just fill all of this in right here. And this is going to extend out over it. And then let's take out our black stained glass panes and fill in that little window right there. So that's what it's going to look like now. And now over that little layer of, well, I shouldn't say little really, because it goes all the way over the full house, but over that layer of oak leaves, we're going to add another layer just right above it of smooth quartz. And then we're going to add another layer of smooth quartz right above that, just like so, except there's going to be one block of space in between. And once we've got that done, we're all the way here on the right end. We're going to just place down 2 slabs or just a regular block of smooth quartz. And then we're going to build a layer all the way around, which is going to be 1/2 block above that final layer that we just placed earlier. So let's bring this all the way down to the end. And then once we've got that part done, we're going to take out our smooth quartz blocks again and then place a layer on the inside of that so that we can't really see past that gap that we just created there. And so by the end, it should look a little something like what we've got right here. So now we've got that, it's starting to come together a lot right here. You can see the very square style that I'm going for with this mansion. But now let's just go all the way over to this side right here. And we are going to start right here on this wall of the house right here. So let's just build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks of smooth quartz right there. And then go up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And then go all the way over. And then like that. So we're just going to have a little 3x3 window right there. We can now just go ahead and fill that in. And then after that we will skip over a block and do the exact same thing by building 5x5 square and then filling in that 3x3 window. Now that we've got that, what we're going to do next is we're going to take our black terracotta and we're going to build up by 7 blocks right there, 7 blocks right there as well, and then we can go ahead and also connect them all the way across. And then we're going to put down some leaves in between that little gap right there, but that didn't quite cover up the gap since we can see through the leaves. So behind those leaves we're just going to add a layer of jungle planks. Just hit the mic with my hand, I don't know if you could hear that. But then over here what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 layers of whatever those are called, slabs. And then we're going to do that same thing up here as well. So it's going to end up looking like that. And now what we're going to do on the next side over here is we're going to take our bricks. We're just going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the 8th block it's going to extend out by a layer. And then we're going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks right there. Actually 5 blocks instead. And then we can build that all the way down right there. Go all the way out. Let's actually build an extended layer right there as well. And then right here, let's go ahead and fill these in. And this is going to be all one giant window. But first let's add 2 layers of jungle planks right there. And then fill in that window. So this is what it's going to look like. And now above that, we're going to extend our black terracotta layer. And it's going to extend out by 2 blocks right there, and this is going to be the corner of the mansion. So in between this little gap right here, let's just go ahead and fill that all the way in with our smooth quartz. And then if we want, we can also add a layer of oak leaves right there, which I think would look better than if there was nothing there. So this is what the first little corner of the mansion is going to look like right there. So now we can in with black stained glass panes. So there we have it. That is what it looks like now. We have not done this bottom layer here yet, so let's go ahead and actually do that. We're just going to extend this layer all the way down right there. Let's fill it in at the top, and we're not going to fill it at the bottom. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our dead bubble coral blocks and just build a layer all the way across right there, and then fill in this window with black stained glass panes as we have with all the other windows. So now this is what the back corner of the mansion is going to look like. So we need to fill in this third and final layer at the top right here, and we're going to actually continue this pattern all the way down. So let's just build up 2 jungle planks right there. Now this is a 6 long window with a gap of 8 in between, so let's see if this pattern can even work out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we place down 2 jungle planks right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2 jungle planks right there. So it's not going to work out, but I think it'll be fine. So this is 3 away, this is 3 away. So we'll put down 2 jungle planks right there, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's add the windows for all of that, so we can just build the frame and then fill it all in, just like so. Now we're going to do that for these other ones here as well. Alright, and now that we've got that part done, we can go ahead and also add this layer of quartz right above all of that. We're just going to bring it all the way down here, around this corner here as well, and we're just going to have it stop right there. Let's also take out our oak leaves and do the exact same thing. We're just going to add a layer above all of that. Alright, and now that that there is complete, what we're going to do, oops, I forgot that one, is now what we're going to do is we're just going to continue this part all the way down to the end. So it's literally going to just be the exact same pattern, except at the end here, when it reaches this little column piece of jungle plank, we're going to cut off that window there, and we can go ahead and do that on the other side here as well. And now let's just fill in this window section right here. Oops, accidentally put lanterns down instead of glass. So let's just fill in that little section right there, and now we can fill in this section here as well. Once we've got that, we can go ahead and bring this all the way down to the end. And then right here we're going to place 2 more blocks, and then put down these slabs all the way across at the top there as well. And then the last step to this part is we're going to go behind and we're going to place down some quartz blocks, smooth quartz blocks, all the way down to cover up that little gap at the top right there. So now it is going to look like this. Let's get this corner right here as well. I almost forgot about that. Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, just a section not even filled in. So let's fill in that little corner section there. It's going to look just like that. Alright, so there we have it. This side of the house is now complete. Now we can move on to the back side of the house, or we could move on to this other corner right here. I think that we should actually probably connect these corners right here. So let's just bring this all the way down to the very end of the house. I'm not going to count the blocks amount for this part right here, because it's just going to go all the way down till it meets this jungle plank right here. Now let's come over here to this side, and we're going to bring this all the way down until it meets this part right here, which is 1 block ahead from all of that. We're going to take our jungle leaves, bring those all the way down as well to right there, and then we can turn and bring those all the way down till it lines up with the other leaves that are on the other side. So this is what it's going to look like on the back so far. We can now go ahead and just bring these 2 layers all the way down to the very end. And now, once we have that part complete, we're going to just go over here, and we are literally going to copy this exact pattern all the way down till it reaches that corner right there. So I'm just going to skip ahead of all of that part so that you don't have to watch me build all of it, because it is quite repetitive and this video is already going to be long enough. Alright, and now that we have that part complete, this is what it's going to look like. We're just going to go over here and continue building onto this part right here. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to build this all the way up and connect these black terracotta pieces together and then connect them to the ground right there as well. Now what we're going to do is we're finally going to take out our gray concrete, the little bit darker version of that light gray concrete that we used earlier for the patios. We're just going to build this all the way up till it reaches this point right here, in which we will then go out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, and then bring it all the way down. Once we have that part complete, we're just going to go behind it right here and actually triple up that layer. We normally double up stuff, but for this one it's a little bit special, so we're just going to triple up this layer right here. We're going to triple up the layer of the roof here as well, so let's just go ahead and do all of that. Then we're going to go down here at the bottom. We're going to break out all of these blocks in between right here, and we're going to fill those in with our gray concrete as well. And then on this outside layer here that's closest to the outside of the house, we're just going to fill all of this section in that we just placed with black stained glass panes. Alright, and now that we've got that section down, we're going to actually go ahead and copy what we have here to the other side of this giant window. So this is a 6 wide window, and it is 5 blocks tall. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks high right there of black terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks high there of smooth quartz. And then in the middle right here, we're going to need to chop it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks of dead bubble coral. And then right here, we're going to build all the way up right there. And then over here we can go ahead and then top out this layer with black terracotta there. And then we can also go ahead and fill all of this window in here with black stained glass panes. And once we've got all that part complete, what we're going to do next is we're going to come over here and with our black terracotta build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks again. Actually, let's build it up 8 blocks because that's what it is over here, and then we're just going to build this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks over. Actually 9 blocks over. I don't know how I was so off. But then over here we're going to build a little window, so we're just going to build this all the way up, and then on each side we're going to build it all the way down with our smooth quartz, of course. So all the way down there, and then we're going to put down some slabs on each side all the way down, of course, and then we're just going to fill all of this area in with black stained glass panes. And once we've got all that complete, we're going to close it all off right there with our smooth quartz, and then we can build a black terracotta layer all the way across just like that. We'll even bring it down all the way right there, and then we're just going to fill in this section here with jungle planks. So this is what it's going to look like so far. Alrighty, really quick, if we move over here to the front now, we're going to just go over to this balcony. This is just going to be really quick here. We are just going to fill in this little section here with spruce planks. So let's just outline that right there. Then once we've got that outline, we're just going to fill all of this section in here with jungle planks. This is just going to be the floor for this little balcony that we've got right here at the front, this little corner balcony. And then we're just going to build the walls all the way across with our smooth quartz. We're going to build a little doorway right here that is 2 blocks thick. And then right here, another little doorway that is 3 blocks wide. We're just going to build a little window right here. The doorway is going to have slabs as the roof so that you don't scrape your head on it. And then we're just going to build this all the way down. And it's going to be a 3 wide little window right there. And then right here, it's going to be the same thing, 2 on each side, with a little slab window right there. Over all of this, we're then going to place a layer of jungle planks, and then we're going to finally place a layer of upside down smooth quartz stairs as the final layer of this wall. So let's go ahead and do all of that there. And then of course we cannot forget to fill in these windows here with black stained glass panes. And then that will be it. There is the complete balcony. Now let's go back to the back of the house. Alright, here we are at the back of the back again. What we're going to do here now is we're going to build a little doorway. So what we're going to do for that is we're just going to go right here on this block and build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks of smooth quartz, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's actually build that 9 and then bring it all the way down until it touches right there. And then we're going to add a layer of slabs, smooth quartz slabs, and then a layer of black stained glass panes all the way around. Saw that there was an extra pane right there, we're just going to break that. And then right here at the bottom, we're going to go ahead and fill all of this in right here as like a little doorway border barrier thing. And that is going to be our doorway. Alright, now that we've got that doorway down right there, I think what we're going to do next is we're actually going to copy down this exact same thing onto the other side of it. So let's just take our black terracotta here and just build all the way up to the very tippy top right there. And then on this block right here, we will go out and just build it all the way down again. And then we're going to fill in this little layer right here with jungle planks. And then next what we're going to do is we're actually going to build another little 5 by 6 window right here, so we can just take our smooth quartz out and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then build all the way down to the ground right there. Then we will build all the way up to the top with black terracotta on this side here. And then all the way across, we're just going to connect those two right there. And then we can break out this part right here and fill this all in with our black stained glass panes. Alright, now that we've got that part down, we're just going to connect the black terracotta all the way down to that side right there. Then we're going to take our smooth quartz again. We're going to build a square frame all on the interior of this part right here. And once we've got that part all the way done, oops, misplaced a few blocks right there, then we're going to take out our smooth quartz slabs again. We're just going to build a layer at the top and bottom right there, and then of course fill all of this window in right here with black stained glass panes. Alright, and now that that part is done, we're going to fill in this little middle section right here, and I think it is actually going to be a balcony. I think that's what the best option would be. So for that, just go ahead and copy down what I'm doing right here. I'm just building a little frame all the way around with white terracotta, or not white terracotta, white quartz. And we're going to have to double it up on that layer right there. So for this at the top, let's just add a little layer of oak leaves. And then we're also going to add another layer of smooth quartz, and then a layer of smooth quartz slabs. And then a layer of smooth quartz slabs down here, so it's going to look just like those other two windows on either side of it, except this time we're just going to add one layer of black stained glass panes as like a little railing right there for this balcony. So now let's go on the inside here and we can add the walls. So I just built out 6 blocks away from this right here, so let's just build that all the way down to the top on each side of this. Alright, and now that we've got that part done, we're going to go over here and let's just add 2 layers of jungle planks or slabs or whatever they're called. And let's also add a 2 by 3 window on either side. We can go ahead and fill both of those in with our black stained glass panes. And then we are going to add the final back wall right here, which is just going to go all the way down, and there's going to be a 2 by 3 doorway right here. So let's fill that all in. Let's actually put down 2 slabs right there so that we're not scraping our heads on the top of the doorway. And then we're going to build 2 by 2 windows on each side of this little doorway that we've got right there. So now we've got that part down, let's go ahead and fill this all the way down. Oops, just fell off the edge right there. And then let's add this extra layer up at the top right there. And now we can build the little ceiling for this new little patio that we've got here. And to do that, we're going to add a layer of spruce planks all the way around. Now let's also get out our, whatever these things are called. I keep forgetting. Redstone lamps and redstone blocks. We're just going to add a little layer of redstone lamps all the way around the interior of that. Then we can add our redstone blocks, and let's not forget to place them down on the corners there as well. And then finally, we're going to go down here and cover up that ugly, disgusting redstone with spruce trapdoors. Then we are also going to take our spruce planks, or slabs I mean, and then build a little barrier to the floor of this little patio right here. Let's build it all the way around, and then we're going to take out our light gray concrete and fill that in right there, and this is going to be the floor. And then once we have done all of that, the little patio is complete, and this is what it is going to look like. Alright, and now that we've got that part complete, we're going to go over here and we're going to build this final corner right here, and I think it's going to match up with this corner right here. It's not going to be quite an exact replica because it's not even right there, but let's just build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jungle planks right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 off of that. Let's build up all the way to the top on each side of it, so it's going to end up looking like that. Let's build all the way over here. Oh, we ran into a little problem right there. So it's actually going to go up to here, and then it's going to go all the way over, just like that. So let's go do that on the other side, and then line them up. So we're just building all the way up to the top, going all the way over. Let's actually triple up this top layer right here. So we're just going to add 2 more layers down below that of the exact same jungle planks. And then right here up at the top layer, we're going to take our black terracotta and then build an extra layer all the way around that. And let's actually have this extend out by 1 and then bring it all the way down to the ground. So it's going to look just like this so far. Here's what we've got. Now let's add another layer of jungle planks right here. And for this is actually, I think this is going to be where we place the stairs for the mansion. So this is not going to have another section right here like this one does where it has a balcony in the middle. So we're just going to fill all the rest of this in with black stained glass panes. And now that that is all filled in, I think it looks pretty good. It looks very simple, not too overdone right there. Let's go over here to this side and place down a layer of black terracotta that just goes all the way up to the very tippy top of this jungle planks over here. And now let's bring that all the way down to this side, and we're just going to connect it right there. And for this part right here, it's a little bit tricky on what we're going to do next, because we want to continue this pattern, or do we want to continue this pattern right here? I think we're just going to choose the white, the smooth quartz pattern right there. So let's just fill in that and then put in a little window right there. So that's what it's going to look like. I think it turned out fine. And then let's just go all the way back down over here, and we're going to fill, let's not fill all of this in right here, because then it would just be kind of repetitive with this window up here. So here's what we're going to do for this. We're just going to try to continue down this pattern for as long as we can. So we're just going to place down 2 jungle planks right there, and then this is a 1x6 window right here. So that means that this is 1, and then 1, 2, 3, oops. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to place another quartz right there, then 2 jungle planks, and then let's just continue this pattern all the way down for as long as we can. Alright, so it looks like it turned out perfectly. Here's what it turned out to look like. It just lined up perfectly right here, which is very lucky. A lot of times it doesn't happen, but when it does happen, it's a very good thing. So now we've only got this little last segment over here to fill in on the side of the house. So for this, I think what we're going to do over here is we're just going to take out our quartz, and we're just going to fill in the entire layer right here with quartz, and this is going to go all the way up to the top on each side. And then of course at the top we can just go ahead and fill it all the way in right there. So now this is what we have. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to build a layer right there, and it's going to be 2 blocks tall. And then above that, we're going to have another gap of 2 blocks tall. And so it's just going to be stripes basically all the way up to the very top. And then once we've got that filled in, now we can go ahead and fill in all of these windows here with black stained glass panes. Alright, and now that we've got that part completely done, what we're going to do next is we're going to take out our light gray concrete and we're just going to build a layer at the bottom of each of those windows right there, just like this. And once we've got that part done, we can go ahead and then at the top of each layer, add a layer of slabs, of jungle slabs, I mean. So let's just go ahead and do that for all of these windows. And now the side of the house is officially complete. So now we've got all the exterior complete except for the ceiling, which we're going to actually fill in last because we don't want the roof of the house to, cast a big shadow over all this while we're building the interior. So now we can go ahead and move on to the interior of the house. And what we're going to do here first is we're just going to go ahead and fill in all of this floor here with jungle planks. We're just going to cut out all the grass and replace it all with jungle planks. Okay, and now that that floor there is filled in entirely with jungle planks, I know that probably took you a long time, but if you do have World Edit, then that would make this a lot easier. But the next thing that we're going to do is the obvious thing that we should do, and it is cover up all the ugly stuff. And we're going to be starting with this ugly looking garage right here. Now this is obviously not going to be a real garage since there is not enough space in this house to have a real garage. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to cover up all of this with our smooth quartz. Alright, now that that is all covered up, we built a wall here that is 6 blocks tall, I believe, of smooth quartz. We're just going to go over here. Let me check my FPS here because I did just turn these shaders on. But basically what we're going to do over here, since this is 2 blocks tall from the floor right here, we're just going to build an extra little layer of jungle planks right here to extend the floor up. And once we've got that part complete, as you can see, this room here is looking a little bit dark. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take out our gray concrete and we're just going to build a layer off of that block right there all the way down to the end. And we're going to skip over a block and do that same thing again. And we're just going to do this all the way down to the end. So now you will have 5 layers of gray concrete that are just standing there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to hang some lanterns off of them randomly. These lanterns should not be placed in any kind of a pattern. It should just be random. It kind of gives it a little more of like a natural look, I guess you could say. So let's just place down some random lanterns across all of those. This is what it's going to turn out to look like. And then above that, we're then going to take out our jungle planks again. And right here, we will add another layer. Let's just build this all the way down from this block to this block right here. And now let's fill in this square here with jungle planks. And once that is complete, we're then going to go down here and we're going to add 2 more layers of jungle planks. Just like that. And then right here, we're going to add another layer right there. It's going to cut off right here, go all the way down. And then we can add some black stained glass panes as a railing right there. And this is going to be a balcony that looks over onto the outside and the inside of the house right here. And this part is going to turn into a hallway. And then so we also need to fill this gap all the way up to the top with our smooth quartz. So now that we got that part done, what we're going to do next is we're going to go over here and we're just going to add another layer of smooth quartz all the way up to the top right there. We can go ahead and do that for this layer as well. And then we are going to add a little wall that will end right here. We're going to make this wall be jungle planks. So we're just going to build off of that by, I think that was 8 blocks right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 blocks all the way up to the top right there where it will stop. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks tall. It's going to go out by 8 blocks. So once we have that, then we are going to build this all the way down to the end right there. And it is going to be an extra 3 layers right there. So we're going to have a pretty big doorway right here. So this is what it's going to look like. That's our first wall on the interior of this house, which means that we now have to create a ceiling. So for this ceiling, what we're going to do is we're going to have jungle planks that go out from there and go all the way into there, and then it's going to bring it all the way down. Let's bring it all the way down here, and once it hits this part of the build, we're going to actually stop and then bring it all the way down to right there. Now the rest of this is not going to have a ceiling, so now for this part right here we need to get out our ceiling materials, which are these, and we are also going to use some spruce slabs for this ceiling here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just place a layer at the back here of redstone lamps, place a layer of redstone, another layer of redstone lamps, then a layer of spruce planks, a layer of spruce slabs, another layer of spruce planks, and then we will just continue this pattern that we have there all the way down to the end. Alright, and now that we have that part down, what we're going to do is we're going to come down over here, and as usual, we're going to want to cover up all that ugly, disgusting redstone with some spruce trapdoors. So let's just cover all those up there. And once that part is all done, we're actually going to go over all of this here, again with another layer of jungle planks, except this time it is not going to be just a border, we're going to fill all of this in. And once we have that floor completely filled in, what we're going to do next is we're going to add another little railing right here, because this is going to be another balcony, but when it hits this point right here, we're going to want to build up by 5 jungle planks, and then we can build that all the way down till it reaches this end right here, in which case we will just cut out that piece of glass right there and build it up just like that. Then on each side we can go ahead and build it down right there as well, and then right here we will fill this part in with black stained glass panes. We are also going to come down over here, break out those 2 pieces, break out that, and then add a little stair right there, so that we've got 2 balconies right next to each other that can look over this little section of the floor. Next up, we're going to come over to this side of the house right here, and we're going to go into this little crevice right here and build out by however many blocks this is until it reaches this little portion of the wall. But we're going to build up right there by 3 blocks, so let's go ahead and do that. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and then also build up by 2 blocks right there. Build up 2 layers right there as well. And then right here we've got a little entrance to what is going to be another little nook area. So what we're going to do here is from this block we're just going to place down 4 jungle slabs and then 4 jungle planks above that. 4 jungle planks right there. 4 jungle slabs. And then some more planks, which are then going to have another set of planks right there. And then 4 more slabs, and now we've got the stairs that are going to lead up to this little section right here. Let's actually put down some lanterns right here before we cover this all with jungle planks, so that we don't have any bats that spawn down there. And then we can fill in the rest of this little floor here with jungle planks. And now that we have that part complete, let's go ahead and cover up this brick right here, because I think that it looks fine on the outside of the house. It gives a lot of diversity to the house, but it doesn't look good on the inside. So we're just going to add some layers of quartz right there. It doesn't really matter how tall it is. In this case, I just placed down 5 right there. Let's also cover up this part right here by placing 5 more. Then let's go ahead and just place 5 more right there as well. So now that we've got this, let's also place 2 down right there. Let's actually just add another 2 layers of quartz all the way along this side of this wall right here that covers up the ugliness of the garage. And now that we have that part all down, we're just going to add a little glass railing all the way along here so that we don't have anybody falling off the edge. Once we've done that, I actually just got a new idea for how we're going to light up this room. So we're just going to break out one of every other glass railing right here, all the way down to the end. So then we're going to build up with our gray concrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to do that on each one of these gaps that we just created. And then we're going to bring that all the way down till it reaches this wall. Let's do that for all of them. And then we're going to add some randomly placed lanterns just like we did before. This one can be a little less random, or it could be a little more random. It doesn't really matter because we just want to get kind of that natural look, and we can really just place lanterns anywhere along the top that we want right there. So I think that looks pretty good. Let's actually place another lantern right there. I think that will look a little better. So now we've got this little nook area complete. Now let's move on to the entrance wall right here. So we're just going to go off this wall and place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks right there. And then from that, 1, 2, we're going to skip over by 3 blocks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to skip over all the way down to right here and just place 2 blocks, or actually 3 right there. And this is the wall outline for what the little entrance room is going to be. So now let's go down here, and off of all these blocks that we just placed, we're just going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks along all of those. And once we have done that, we are then going to add the little doorway borders right here. So we're just going to add 2 blocks of smooth quartz along all of those. And let's actually add a layer of quartz slabs along there just to kind of modernize it just a little bit more right there. We are then going to add a little ceiling right here, and we need to get out all of our light blocks. So we're just going to add a little border right here of spruce. This is at the 5th block up. So we're just going to add this all the way around right there. And when it hits this part right here, we can go ahead and have it just turn and swoop all the way back around till it lines up with this corner right there. So now we've got that part figured out. We are then going to fill it all in with our same pattern that we used before. So we're just going to have it go this way. A layer of redstone lamps, then a layer of redstone blocks, then a layer of redstone lamps again. And for this one, let's just switch it up and have a layer of spruce planks right there, then another layer of redstone lamps, and then another layer of redstone, and then a layer of redstone lamps right there, spruce planks, redstone lamps, and redstone. And of course we need to go underneath to the bottom and cover up all that ugly, disgusting, despicable redstone with our spruce trapdoors. And let's also take out our smooth quartz and just fill in this corner right here and fill in this gap right here. So now this room is officially complete. We are next going to move on to the ceiling of this room now here. So what we're going to do here is off of this block right here actually, we're just going to build a square border just like we did before with our spruce slabs, or spruce planks I mean. I keep on getting those confused. I don't know why. So this is just going to be basically a big old square is what this is going to be. We're then going to use the exact same pattern that we used for this room to light up this room. And I'm going to go ahead and skip over that because you guys can just go back and look at this pattern and then copy it down for right here. Once we've placed all the trapdoors over all that ugly redstone, we're just going to go over here and fill in this little wall gap right there. And on this wall over here, we're actually not going to fill it in. Let's just fill in that ceiling right there. So we've got a little bit of diversity right there. And now this room here is officially complete. Alright folks, and now of course what we need to do is we need to cover up these ceilings with the floor to the second floor of this mansion. So let's just go ahead and fill in, let's just make an outline right here of what we're going to fill in. So let's build an outline of jungle planks right here first. So now you can go ahead and fill in this little square with jungle planks. Once that floor there is complete, we're going to go over here and we're going to build this floor. So let me just make an outline with jungle planks here again. This is going to go one out from here because there's going to be a wall right here. Let's just bring this all the way down to right there, and then bring it all the way down to right there, and then down to there. And now we can go ahead and also fill in this square with jungle planks. And now once we've got that floor complete, we're just going to come over here and then cover up this brick wall right here with our smooth white quartz, or just smooth quartz. I guess I don't have to call it white, even though it is. And then right here, we're just going to add a layer of smooth quartz, and then also all the way across right here. Let's actually, I didn't even mean to do that, but let's actually do that. Let's have it be kind of like a little pattern right there. So let's just, so it's going to look like that now. And then let's build up by 5 on each of these. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then of course on this little section of 3, we've got to build up by 5 as well. And right here what we're going to do, we're just going to break this part out and put down 2 slabs right there, so it's another step. Then let's also just complete this wall by building it all the way up and then connecting it to right there and right there. So now we've got 2 doorways here that will both lead down to this floor. And then we've got this hallway right here kind of looking thing. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good, so let's just build up by 5 right there as well. And then we will build this all the way down till it reaches that part right there. And let's go ahead and do that with all of these as well. And once we've got that part done, what we're going to do next is we're actually going to take out our end rods. And for the first time, we're just going to place down some all the way along till it reaches the end. And this one, that's not going to be random. We're just going to place them down every other block. We're going to do that in between each of these little sections right here. Once we've got all of those filled in, we're also going to take out our black stained glass panes. And we're going to build a little railing right here because this is going to be kind of like a little balcony right there that somewhat looks over this side of the house, but you know, you don't really get that much of a view, so we're just going to cut it off right there. Once we've got that room complete officially, now we're going to come down over here and we're just going to build a layer of quartz right there. And it's going to go all the way down till it meets the end of this gray concrete. Then we're going to build another layer and then another layer over that, so we're just going to triple it up. And then a layer of black stained glass panes. We're going to break out that last one right there and then replace it with a layer of, we're just going to build up by 5 with our smooth quartz, and then connect it right there, and then connect it all the way down to the end wall right there. And now that we've got that, we're going to do something kind of similar as what we did right there. We're just going to build another little balcony area, so let's go ahead and do that right now. We got to build up by 3 right here all the way along so that we hide all of the redstone mechanics of this mansion. So now this is what it should look like so far. Now let's come over here and let's add another layer all the way across, except now it's going to run into this window right here. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to break that part out, break all this out. Let's actually just have it turn right there, and it's just going to have to end up looking like this. It's going to look a little weird, so let's just cover up this part right there, and then this part right there. We can actually get rid of this now here as well. So it's just going to end up cutting off right there. It's going to look a little bit weird, but it's not going to look that strange, so I think it'll be fine. Let's build this up an extra layer, double it up right there as well. And now this little balcony area here is almost complete. Actually, I was about to say it was complete, but we got to bring this all the way down to right there and then have it connect right there. So now this little balcony area is officially complete. This is what it will end up looking like from the interior of the house. And now we need to build the floor for this room right here. So what we're going to do for this is we're just going to build first a little outline of the room floor. So it's just going to go all the way around here. It's going to cut off right there. And there. Now we can fill in this square here with jungle planks. Alright, great job everybody. And now once that floor there is filled in, we're going to come down over here, bring this all the way down. Hopefully it doesn't hit the window right there. And we barely made the cut. So once it hits that part right there, we're just going to bring it down over here as well. And now we've got another square right here that we're going to fill in with jungle planks. Alright, and once we've got that floor down, let's go down here and let's also fill in the ceiling for this floor as well. So for this, what we're going to do is we're just going to build this all the way out till it hits one block away from this part right here. I don't really know what that block was called because I forgot. Oh, it's called gray concrete. But then we're just going to build this all the way down and all the way around. And now we can go ahead and fill this in using the same ceiling pattern that we've been using for the whole house. So this is what your ceiling should look like. Great job, everybody. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually take out our smooth quartz again. And right here, we're just going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Let's double up that layer here. And then let's actually triple it up. So we're going to have to break out this section right here. So that's 8 blocks again, in case you missed it. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side right here. Make sure it's lined up the exact way that this one is. So 8 blocks here at the end. And then, as you may have guessed already, we are just going to connect this here as well. So this is again 3 layers right here. And then of course at the end what we're going to do is we're going to add a little glass railing all the way around it. Kind of missed some of the spots there because I suck at placing glass panes, but there we go. Now we've got another little balcony right here to kind of look down, and it's kind of a big window that goes almost the full length or almost the full height of the house. So I think that's kind of a cool feature. So but then now what we're going to do is we're going to just fill the rest of this in with 2 layers. We're not going to triple it up. But now that we've got that, we can basically fill in the rest of this second floor here in with our jungle planks. Once that floor is completely filled in there, we are now going to just fill in a few gaps like this one right here. Let's see, this one right here as well with smooth quartz. Let's see if there's any other gaps over here. This could be one. Yeah, let's go ahead and fill in this part right here, which means this one right here is a gap as well. We've got a gap right here, which we can fill in. And then these corners we can fill in too. And then this corner right here. And I think that's it. So we got all the finishing touches for this floor out of the way. Now we can start building these stairs. And this staircase might be kind of a hard thing to build, but I have faith in us. So let's try building this staircase right here. It's going to be starting right... let's have it start right here. We're just going to place down 2 smooth quartz slabs. And then we're going to place down 2 more right there. And this is going to go up basically until it hits this point right here, which is going to turn. So we're just going to have it be 4 right there. And then since we've got this window right here, we can go ahead and just build off the window right there, and it won't connect. So let's build up till we hit another corner right there, which we will have another 4 blocks. And then we will do the same thing right here. We're going to have another corner right here since they already kind of line up. So we're just going to have 2 blocks and then a corner. So we've got our 2 steps right there. And then we've got another corner right there. And then we've got 2 more steps. And then another corner. And this corner right here is going to actually connect to this floor right here. So let's just add some more jungle planks right there. Let's extend this doorway all the way up and then bring it over. So now we've got a doorway right there, and we can also, or we should also add some safety railings. So we're just going to add some railings right there. Let's also add some glass at the top right there, just to give it a little bit more of a design. And then we're just going to continue this staircase up by 3 more steps until we hit a corner, and then we can go ahead and just place 2 more, and then another big step right there. And then we're just going to have to come back to this staircase later because we haven't even started building the 3rd floor. I don't know where it's going to connect to the 3rd floor, so we're going to have to we're going to have to stop building the staircase for right now and have to come back to it later. But that doesn't mean that we can't place anything in the middle, so let's actually place some water in the middle. So we have to get out our water bucket, which I don't even have out yet. Look, I just got a little achievement for getting out the water. So what we're going to do here actually is we're going to break out this spot right here. Just go ahead and break it out all the way. And then we're just going to break it down all the way to right there. And we're going to replace it with dead bubble coral blocks. Then we're going to break out all of this jungle plank that we've got right here. Let's replace this bottom wall right here with jungle plank, this wall of dirt that we got right there, because we don't want any dirt in this house. That would be kind of embarrassing since it's a gigantic modern mansion. But then we're also just going to break out all this dirt right here and replace it with light gray concrete. And once we've got that, we can go ahead and break out these corners and place down some redstone lamps so that we just got some light in there, because it's kind of dark in this corner right here. There's no real light shining on it at all. Even the sun is kind of blocked out by the rest of the build. So let's just break out every corner that we've got and replace it with some light. Now that we've got that part down, we can go ahead and fill this all in with some water. So now we've got a little pond right here, or not really a little pond, but kind of like a little fountain. And my plan is that once this is all, once the staircase is complete, at the very tippy top right there, we're going to have some water that pours all the way down, and it goes all the way through the entire staircase. And now that we have these stairs out of the way for now, what we're going to do next is we're going to work on the 3rd and final floor of this big ol' modern mansion. And to do that first, we got to get rid of this leaf layer, at least from the inside. We don't want to get rid of it from the outside because it looks cool. But what we're going to do here basically is on this side right here, and on this side only, we're going to cover it up with our smooth quartz. And then on all the other sides, we're going to cover it up with our light gray concrete. So let's just go ahead and do that to get that out of the way. Alright, and now that we've got that part out of the way, what we're going to do next is we're going to fill in the entire 3rd floor with jungle planks at the same level. Next, what we're going to do after we have completed doing that is we're going to go back down to the very first floor, because this is the only way that we can actually even get inside of the house. But we're just going to go down here, and we're actually going to have to turn right here and fill in the entire rest of this ceiling right here. But first, really quick, let's just go ahead and fill in these little gaps in the walls right here. Now that that is done, we can go ahead and fill in this entire little section right here that is missing a ceiling. And to do this, we are just going to use the exact same pattern that we used for this ceiling right here and all the other ceilings of the house. And there we go, now that ceiling is officially complete, and the entire first floor is now officially complete, minus the interior decoration, which we will actually be doing in the second part of this tutorial. There is going to be a second part of this tutorial, by the way, where I just basically do exactly what I just said, which is decorate the interior. But now what we're going to do is we're going to have to fill in the ceiling for this floor, as well as creating the staircase and making it go all the way up to the very top floor of the building, which is actually going to be the 3rd floor. Even though this looks like it could be a 4-story building, it's only 3, and the 2nd floor just has extremely high ceilings. So what we're going to have to do now is we're just going to continue building this staircase all the way up to the top, and we're just going to use the same pattern that we were using before, which is basically just having 2 steps and then a big step and then 2 steps and then a big step, 2 steps and a big step, all the way till we get to the very tippy top. When we get to this part right here, we're actually going to need to make the big step right there because this wall kind of cuts off where the stairs would be, so we're just going to have to kind of make the staircase a little bit shorter than it originally was. Alright, and that should be just about it. Let's actually break out this part where the stairs are going to be. But once that's all broken, the staircase is now almost officially complete. If you do remember, I said that I was going to add a little waterfall that goes all the way through. Well, now that waterfall has been kind of cut off, but there's still those 2 blocks that we can use for this. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to chop out all the rest of this, and then we're going to replace it with this block, whatever this block is called, light gray concrete. So let's just replace all of this with light gray concrete right here, and then we will build one of these all the way around it, a little railing all the way around it. So now that we have this, we also need to, of course, fill in that little waterfall that I promised we would have. So let's build this part of the roof right here, because we need to do that first. And it looks like the waterfall is going to have to be right in these 2 blocks right here. These 2 blocks right here. So here's what we're going to do for this. We're actually going to build a little contraption right here, just as I'm doing. And then over that contraption, let's actually extend it all the way down to here. And then we're going to place down some smooth quartz slabs all the way across it, except for this spot right here, which is where we're going to be placing our water. Then of course we can cover that up once the water has been placed, and now we should have our little waterfall, and there we have it. So we've got that little staircase complete. Actually, not really little, I guess it's kind of a big staircase, but the staircase is complete nonetheless. So now let's just go all the way back up here and actually down to the 2nd floor. So now we need to work on the 2nd floor ceiling. As you can see, it is a very dark floor. There are even bats that spawned in here, and I had to turn off the friendly animal noises so that we wouldn't have to hear the bats squeak the whole time that we're building this, but the entire layer that we just built. Now that that step is complete, your build should look a little something like this. Let's just go over here, and I'm going to place down some redstone lamps so that this part can be lit up a little more. We can also place some more lamps right here, 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 and here, just off the redstone, so that kind of lights up those walls a little bit more. By the way, if you have made it this far into the video, then I would just like to say thank you very much, and I'm very impressed with you, honestly, for following along this whole tutorial, because this is a super large house, and it's a super long video. So, good job to you, and thank you for watching this video. But now we are going to do the final step of this floor, which is filling in the entire ceiling. And I'm not going to show you how to build it because I already have for these lower levels down here. But yeah, we're just going to fill in the entire ceiling right here, and we're going to build it off of this level right here so that the lights are as close to the ground as they possibly can be, or as close to the floor as they possibly can be. Alright, great, and now that we have that ceiling officially filled in, we're now going to go up to the 3rd and final floor of this gigantic build that we have here, and we're going to start working on this. So this is going to be like the little bedroom floor. So all that we're going to do here basically is we're just going to build some walls here, and you can really do whatever you want to this build, but I'm just going to build off of this little piece right here. I'm just going to build 6 blocks off of that, and then I'm going to skip over by 2 blocks and then build 6 more. So that was 6 right there, and then I'm going to build that all the way down to right here, and then I'm even going to break that piece of glass right there, and then we're just going to build this. We're just going to add 2 more layers over all these blocks right here, and we are going to add 2 blocks right there because that's going to be a doorway. We're just going to put some doors right there, and then this is going to end up turning into one of the bedrooms of the mansion. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and just build 6 more blocks off of this right here, skip over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more blocks right there, and then bring it all the way down till it hits this wall right here. And then of course we're just going to break that out and then add 2 more layers. And once we've got those 2 rooms complete, then we're going to go over to the left of this room and do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then bring it all the way down till it meets this section right here. Break out that, add 2 more layers, and now we have got 3 bedrooms right there. Next, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to come over here. We're just going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. Skip over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks right there. We're going to break out that piece of glass and then add 2 more layers of smooth quartz over this little outline that we just made right here. This is going to be the master bedroom, this little room right here. Well, not little actually. It's the biggest bedroom in the house. These other rooms are, you could call little though. So let's just finish up adding this extra layer onto there. We'll put the doorway right there. And now we have got the 4 bedrooms of the house. This is going to end up being only a 4-bedroom house, but we are going to put a little closet right here. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the 9th block, we're going to build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then off of that block, we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Space of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then bring it all the way down to the end right there. And go ahead and break out that little window. And then add 2 extra layers on top of that. And now we've got a little broom closet. This is going to be one of those hallway closets, you know, the kind that has all those towels and extra sheets in it. So now this is the layout of the entire 3rd and final floor. It's very simple. There's nothing too fancy or complicated about this floor. But now what we're going to do is we're actually just going to fill in this entire ceiling right here. Alright, once that is all filled in, it looks like a big old giant cloud from right now. But once we go on the inside, it's going to be very dark. So let's just break open this part right here. We're actually going to break out 5 blocks right there. And what we're going to do here is we're going to, once we have those 5 blocks broken out right there, then we're going to break out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more blocks off of that. And then let's just go ahead and break out this square. So we've got a 5 by 7 square right here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build some stairs that lead up to the roof. So we're going to go from this block right here and build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planks right there, or spruce slabs, I mean. Or not spruce slabs, quartz slabs. Jeez, maybe I should stop recording, take a little break. But we're just going to build up all the way till it reaches the roof right there. And it looks like we're going to have to break out this little section right there and then replace it. So this is what the stairs are going to look like, and on the roof we're not going to have that big of a little roof patio thing, but we are going to have some farming stuff up here on the roof. So off of this block right here, we're just going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then bring that all the way down. We're going to want to bring it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks away from the edge right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here and then just build this all the way down to the end right there. Missed a block right there. And then we're going to build this all the way down till it lines up right here. We're just going to carry it all the way over. And then we can use smooth quartz slabs and build it all the way down around what we just built right there. And once that is complete, then we're just going to fill in all this empty space right here with our grass block. And once that part is complete, now we have a little area for our Minecraft dog to run around. And now the only thing left that we have to do is to simply just light up this area right here, which we can do by putting down some lanterns all the way across the ceiling. We're just going to put them in basically all the corners and other random spots Now the top floor should look a little something like this. And that now concludes the house segment of this part of the video. Now we are going to move on to the outside of the house, the landscaping, the pool, and the walkway to get inside of the house. And to start out with this, we of course need to first connect the driveway and the front entranceway together. So we're just going to do that here really quick. What we're going to do for this is we're just going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go all the way down. So we can connect it with this block right here, and then we're just going to fill all of that in with dead bubble coral block. This is going to be the interior, like the inside border of the driveway and the walkway connecting. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to see how long this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 blocks wide, so we need to go over here and break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 7th block, we're just going to build it all the way down till it lines up there. So there it lines up. So now we can break this out and fill it all in. And then we're just going to go over here and do the exact same thing. Except this time, we are just going to stop at right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here, and off of this block we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks, and then we're just going to go ahead and fill that all in right there. And then we're going to come down over here, and we're going to break this all the way down till it meets that final block that we placed over there. So now it lines up right here. We're just going to fill this all the way in with dead bubble coral block. And now once we have that, we're just going to come over here and we are going to place a layer of dead bubble coral block right there, 2 away from the corner right there. We're going to do the same thing on this block right here. So 2 away from the corner, we're just going to place another one of these things. And then right here, we're going to go 1 block in from the edge right there. And it's going to be 4 blocks broken right there. 1, 2, 3 right there. 2, 3, and then 1, 2. And we're going to fill this in right here. Dang, I am really bad at placing blocks right now. So it's going to look like that now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and go 4 blocks away, and on the 5th block we're going to break this out and then place another layer of dead bubble coral right there. And then right here we're going to do the same thing. On the 5th block out away from that, we're going to place another line of dead bubble coral right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to break out from this point on. All of the grass blocks inside of this little path are going to be replaced with our light gray concrete. Alright, so this is what the path is going to look like when complete. I decided to put some andesite there in the middle as well, just because I thought it would look a little cooler with 3 blocks instead of just 2. So now we're going to work on the driveway right here. That's what this section is right here. So what we're going to do for this is we're just going to break out this interior layer right here, and we're going to replace it with light gray concrete. And once we have that, then we're going to do the same thing, except this time we're going to break out the interior layer and it is going to be replaced with andesite. And then we're simply going to just connect this right here at the bottom. We can add another layer of light gray concrete, and then we can add another layer of dead bubble coral block all the way around that. So this is what the finished driveway and path combination is going to look like. Now we're going to work on the pool, which is going to be over here on this side of the build. Now for the pool, we're going to come over here, and 1 block away from this side of the house right here, we're just going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blocks of spruce planks. Then we're going to build this all the way down to the very end where it's going to line up with the driveway right there, so it's going to be lined up right there. And then we're just going to place down 15 blocks, or if you don't want to count, then it's just going to be 1 block away from the driveway right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our spruce slabs and we're just going to build that all the way down. This is going to be a little stair that leads up to where the pool dock is going to be, or where the pool deck is going to be. Now that we have this spruce outline right here, we're going to take our light gray concrete and we're going to add 2 layers on the inside just like this, and we're going to add this all the way around the entire spruce outline. So when you are finished with that step, it should look like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 more layers of light gray concrete onto this closer side to the driveway, so it's going to be on the right side if you're viewing it from this angle. So now it will look like this, and next what we're going to do is we're going to break out all this grass right here and replace it with jungle planks. And then we can go ahead and fill all of this here in with water, and this is going to be our little pool for the house. And next, of course, what we need to do is we're going to add a fence to this house. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to take our stripped dark oak wood, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 tall right there. Then we're going to skip over by 4 blocks, and on the 5th block, we're going to place 3 more. Then we're going to do that again. And we're going to continue that pattern down until there are 10 logs standing up, just like you can see here on the screen. Then we're going to go back over here to the side, and we're going to do the same thing, but this time we are not going to have there be 10, there are only going to be 6. Actually, I changed my mind, there are going to be 8, as you can see here. And then we're just going to go over here, and we are going to go and place one right there, so then it is going to connect to the house right there. Now let's go over here to the other side of the driveway, and we're going to do basically the same thing, except this time we're just going to place down 3 right there. Let's go over 4. Go over 4 again. And then it's just going to end right here. So that's only got to be 5 right there. So it's 10 on the right side and then 5 on the left side. And then over here we're just going to build this 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to stop right there, and then we can connect it to the house right there. And now, as you can see here, we have the entire fence outline. Now we just need to fill in the fence, and what we're going to do for that is we're going to take our spruce planks, we're just going to fill in the bottom row right there, then we're going to take our black stained glass panes, fill in a layer right there, and then we're going to take our spruce slabs and fill in a layer on top of all that, and then we're going to take a lantern and place one down on each side. Now we are just going to copy this pattern down between all of these oak log posts. Alright, and now that we have that entire fence complete, what we are doing next is we're going to try to make the lawn look a little nicer by making it appear as if it's been mowed, and the way that we do that is by taking green terracotta and then just placing down a layer of it, and we're just going to continue this pattern all the way throughout all the grass that is within the fence. Alright, and now that that lawn is done there, that will conclude part 1 to this 2-part tutorial. In part 2 I'm going to be building the interior of this mansion, so stick around and watch that video if you want to know how to build the interior of it. Or you could just decorate it however you want, but if you want to see how I decorated the inside of this mansion, then you can go ahead and watch that video as well. But with all that being said, thank you everybody for watching this far into the video. I hope that you did enjoy building this along with me, or even if you didn't build it along with me, I hope that you enjoyed watching the video. Either way, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.